there's nobody in the bar, Bill, except for a couple there, and there's nobody else in there. And the big tall guy and a woman. And so nondescript, no big deal. We're sitting there having some drinks. The woman comes up and starts hitting on Rod. And Rod is very polite, tells her he's, basically not interested, but her boyfriend's there. And so finally I leaned over, I said, ma'am, I said, my friend had a little problem here. We're just kind of, having some drinks by herself. If you don't mind, you probably should go back to your boyfriend. Didn't think anything of it. She turns and walks off. I felt like the entire roof caved in on my head. She reached off. She took 2 steps, grabbed a beer mug off another table, and hit me over the head with this beer mug. Right on top of my head. I just, bam, hit me over the head. I thought, what in the world? And I look around, and she's trying to grab something else. And so I shove her. Of course, she didn't. I'm still trying to get my bearings. Well, I look and I see her boyfriend, who's about as tall as I am, coming at me, and I thought, my goodness. So I go to punch him. He drops down to his knees and socks me square in the balls.
Oh, that was a funny sound you made, by the way.
Can you do
so now I've been hit on the head?
Now maybe.
You heard about squealing like a pig? That's kind of it right there.
This guy socks me square in the nutsack, and all I can do, I grab his head like this, and my head is spinning from being hit on the head with this beer mug. She's still trying to find something else to hit me with, and I've got this big guy I'm rolling around the ground with. Come on, my nuts are in my stomach. So I'm sitting and I'm rolling. I'm like, oh my God, I'm trying to get this woman off of me. I'm trying to fight this guy. Finally, we rearrange all the furniture in the bar. Everything's been knocked over. Everything's down. Finally, I get the better of it. Get up off the floor. She's still crazy. She's still wanting to hit me with something. I go back to the table. The whole bar had been knocked down. All the tables and chairs had been knocked down, except for the one that James and Rod are sitting at. It was a high top table with 3 chairs. They're sitting there just having a beer, watching the whole thing. Have not moved. Have not moved the entire time. Yeah. So I go back and I sit back down by James and Rod, and I just look at them and I say, guys, I got hit over the head with the beer mug. The guy socked me in the balls. And for the last several minutes, I've been fighting all over this bar, both him and her. And Rod looked at me and goes, oh, we were watching a hell of a fight. And James goes, that was fun.
I don't know why I found that so funny, but it was hilarious.
That's great backup you got there by your Texas pal.
Well,
they hadn't moved.
The gal actually jumped on his back at one point, and that was really fun.
I bet that was great.
It was wonderful.
It looked like a tornado had gone through the bar, except for the one table that James and Rod are sitting at. Their table is completely undisturbed right in the middle, and they're still sitting there, have not moved an inch. They're watching this whole
not only that, but I didn't spill an ounce of beer either.
And he never went down and slapped the floor 1, 2, or 3.
No, not one time. No false finishes.
I
was wanting to run in.
That wasn't my job. That's the job for the security, and you weren't there.
Are you sure this wasn't an APA skit?
That's what it looked like.
It could have been, Jerry. I tell you.
It sounds like it was a good one too, man.
Yeah, it was wonderful. Yeah, it was wonderful. All we needed was a couple of cigars.